Have you ever felt like someone's backup plan and never their main priority? That state of mind where other people's wants and needs seem to come first, leaving you to wonder if you even matter to them. We are going to face this head-on today. It's not enough to just feel valued. You need to learn the gentle art of becoming attractive, which means changing into someone that people naturally value and care about. We're not talking about changing who you are. We're talking about making the great person you already are even better. This video will change your life if you've ever felt ignored or unappreciated. Our journey today will have changed the way you think about how to be seen, heard, and valued in every connection. We're redoing your story one powerful rule at a time, so put away your invisibility cape and pick up a pen. Save the link and get ready for the journey from background noise to a unique you. Are you ready? Rule 1. Mastering the art of mystery is the first step on the journey to becoming someone people will remember. Now, when we say mystery, we don't mean being secretive or hiding who you are. It's about slowly showing who you are, like a story that starts with one part and ends with the last. This method makes people want to know more about you and keeps them interested. It's like when you meet someone new and they tell you everything about themselves right away. Later, you won't have as much to learn. But if they tell you little bits of their stories, goals, and thoughts, each meeting will be a chance to learn something fun and new about them. We're still interested because we're learning things slowly. The power of control was recognized by Stoic thinkers. Marcus Aurelius, for example, thought that temperance was a good thing. Not telling everyone everything at once, but sharing ideas and thoughts carefully and at the right times. This doesn't mean you're hiding who you really are. It just means you're giving people time to get to know and enjoy the full range of your personality. Another Stoic philosopher named Seneca once said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without worrying about the future." This is something that can be applied to how we share ourselves with others. In the present, don't feel rushed to tell everyone everything about your deepest ideas, goals for the future, or experiences from the past. As your relationships grow, let these things come out on their own. Being deliberately hard to find or making up a fake image are not part of the art of mystery. Knowing that your life story is important and that you should share it with care is what this is all about. You want to build up your character, experiences, and views in a way that makes people want to know more and be a part of your story, like a good speaker. This way of interacting makes you seem attractive. People are naturally pulled to those who make them think and leave a little to the imagination. It's like how good books make you want to turn the page and see what happens next. If you learn how to write mysteries well, you'll become that interesting book that makes people eagerly await each new chapter. Rule 2. Show how valuable you are. Being a priority in other people's lives means showing how valuable you are. Being proud or acting like someone you're not is not the point. The point is to show that you are unique and important, just like everyone else, and that your presence in someone's life is something special. If you think about it this way, things that are easy to get are often taken for granted, but things that are hard to get are valued more. You need to follow this rule to show that you are like that rare and valuable prize. It means showing that you respect and value yourself by how you live your life. People will start to see and respect your worth when you do this. Marcus Aurelius, a smart Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you know how valuable you are and don't need other people to tell you, you become more attractive on your own." We learned from Seneca that time is valuable and shows how much we value ourselves. He said, "We don't have a short time to live, but we waste a lot of it." Opting not to waste your time on people who don't value you shows that your time is valuable. This doesn't mean you should be rude or disinterested. Instead, spend a lot of time with people who respect and value your time and energy. Epictetus, another great Stoic, also stressed the value of independence. We can't control the world, but we can control our reactions. In the context of relationships, this means that you should look within yourself for approval or support rather than seeking it from others. People are more likely to view you as valuable if you are independent and self-reliant. This rule is about how to live your life with respect, self-respect, and confidence. You should know how much you're worth and not be afraid to show it in a strong but humble way. People will automatically respect and pay attention to you if you set healthy limits, respect yourself, and work hard to reach your own goals. They don't just see you as another person. They see you as important and have faith in you. You begin to take on a higher priority in their lives in this way. Rule 3. Make your own happiness. Finding and making your own happiness is the third rule of becoming a priority in other people's lives. This is a very important rule because being happy with yourself makes you more attractive to other people. It's not about acting like you're happy. It's about finding what makes you happy and going after it. A Stoic philosopher named Marcus Aurelius said that happiness comes from inside. He said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This means that your happiness doesn't depend on other people. It starts with how you think and feel about life. When you think happy thoughts and find happiness in your own deeds and accomplishments, you give off an air of assurance and contentment that attracts people. Seneca also stressed how important it was to be content with yourself. He thought that real happiness comes from within and isn't dependent on outside factors. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future, he said. In real life, this means focusing on the present and enjoying the good things in life as they come your way, instead of always looking for happiness in other people. Focusing on what we can control is crucial, according to Epictetus, another Stoic philosophy. As a powerful reminder, he said, "Seek not the good in external things, seek it in yourselves." Your happiness shouldn't rest on what other people do or say. It should be based on your own ideals, hobbies, and self-care. This rule can be put into practice in real life by doing things you love, hanging out with people who make you happy, and looking after your physical and mental health. It's about making your life a good one, no matter what your relationship situation is. You don't need other people to fill a void when you're happy with who you are and your life. Instead, you share your whole, happy self with them. Others want to be a part of your life because of this trait, not because you need them to be happy, but because they are drawn to your happiness. In conclusion, cultivating a positive mindset, enjoying the present, and discovering joy in your own life are the keys to making your own happiness. Sharing your happiness with others makes you someone they want to be around, which makes you a priority in their lives. Rule 4. Know your worth and let others spend in you. Understanding your worth and letting others spend their time and effort in you is the fourth rule of becoming a priority in other people's lives. Realizing that you are valuable, like a rare and unique gem, and not something that can be easily gotten without work, is what this rule is all about. Stoic thinkers' beliefs are consistent with this idea. Epictetus, a well-known Stoic philosopher, once said, "No great thing is created suddenly. The same is true for relationships. Great connections don't form fast. They need time, work, and commitment from both sides. People will respect you more because they can see how valuable you are and how much you add to their lives when they give you their time and energy." Another person who stressed the value of self-worth was Marcus Aurelius. He thought that inner strength and self-respect were important, and he said that how a person sees themselves is a big part of how others see and value them. Aurelius once said, Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. If you know your worth and are sure of yourself, other people are more likely to see and accept it. This rule is also in line with what Seneca taught. A life of self-contentment and being useful to oneself first were things he pushed. He said, "We suffer more often in our imaginations than in reality." This means that worrying that other people won't see your worth isn't always well-founded. People will start to see and value your worth when you focus on being useful to yourself. In real life, this rule means living a life that shows how valuable you are. Do things that will help you learn new things and improve the ones you already have. Also, take care of your body, mind, and emotions. Make a life for yourself that other people will want to be a part of. Remember that when people put time and effort into you, you develop a stronger bond with them, and your relationship with them becomes more significant. They stop seeing you as just another person in their life and start to see you as someone important and unique. In conclusion, if you want to be useful and let others invest in you, you need to know your worth, work on improving yourself, and build relationships based on mutual respect and hard work. This strategy elevates you to a position of priority in other people's lives, not because you ask for it, but because they value and respect you. Rule 5. Do your own thing. Living your own life to the fullest is the 5th rule for becoming a priority in other people's lives. This entails embracing your freedom and going after your own hobbies and objectives. Your happiness and feeling of purpose shouldn't come from other people. Instead, you should make your own life fulfilling. A wise Stoic ruler named Marcus Aurelius said, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." This quote perfectly captures the spirit of this rule. To live in harmony with yourself, you need to be aware of your own dreams, interests, and goals, and go after them. You are more alluring to others when you are content and satisfied in your own life. They see you as whole and able to take care of themselves, which makes them want to be with you. Another Stoic teacher, Seneca, also emphasizes the value of being content with oneself. His view was that our happiness shouldn't depend on our ties with other people. Seneca said, "If you want to be loved, love." This means that you should first find love and happiness within yourself before looking for love and approval from others. In this way, you change into someone who doesn't need recognition but easily gets it. Epic teachers tell their students to focus on what they can control, like their deeds, their goals, and how they deal with life's problems. As they put it, we are disturbed not by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens. This means that you shouldn't let how other people treat you or see you affect your happiness too much. Instead, work on making your life full of things that make you happy. If you want to practically live your own life, you need to do things you love, like following a hobby, moving up in your job, or spending time with supportive friends and family. You have to make goals for yourself and work toward them. People will simply want to be a part of your life if it is full and satisfying. They don't see you as someone who always needs help or approval. They see you as someone who adds worth and joy. To sum up, having your own life means being independent and finding happiness in the things you do and the things you achieve on your own. Being content with who you are and what you have makes you more appealing to other people. Other people will naturally want to include and value you in their own lives when you live a full life on your own. Rule 6. Put your own wants first. Being a priority in other people's lives means putting your own needs first. That's the 6th rule. This rule stresses how important it is to take care of yourself and respect yourself. It means realizing that taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's important. When you meet your own needs, you give off an air of confidence and worthiness that makes people want to be around you. Marcus Aurelius, a famous Stoic thinker, discussed the power of inner strength and self-control. He said, "You have power over your mind, not over outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This strong statement shows how important it is to pay attention to your own needs. It tells us that we have some control over how we treat ourselves, even though we can't change how others treat us. For control over your life and well-being, put your own wants first. Seneca, who was also a Stoic philosopher, stressed how important it was to be independent and able to rely on oneself. He thought our happiness should come from inside us and not depend too much on other people to make us feel good about ourselves or content. He taught that the key to a healthy and happy life is to find happiness within ourselves. Epictetus also had some good things to say about this subject. "I think it's important to think about the things we can control, like what we do and how we react." He said, "We can't change the outside circumstances that affect us, but we can always change how we react to them." When it comes to putting your own needs first, this means being responsible for your own happiness and well-being instead of relying on other people to do those things for you. In real life, putting your own needs first means setting limits in your relationships and making sure you don't always put the needs of others ahead of your own. It means setting aside time for yourself, whether it's for fun, rest, or growth. It's about making decisions that are good for your health and happiness, even if that means telling other people no sometimes. In short, putting your own wants first means knowing and honoring your own worth. It's about caring for your mind and body. When you do this, you not only make your own life more satisfying, but you also make the lives of others more beautiful and valued. People will value you more if you show them that you value yourself. Rule 7. Be grateful for your time and being here. Value your time and appearance. This is the 7th rule for making others a priority in their lives. This means being aware that your time and attention are valuable and shouldn't be given away without thinking. That your time and attention are important gifts that you choose to share shows that you have your own life, hobbies, and responsibilities. The great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said that people should value their own time. "Do not act as if you had 1,000 years to live," he said. This helps us keep in mind that time is limited and important, so we should make the most of it. You show that your presence is not something to be taken for granted when you choose how and with whom you spend your time. Seneca also talked about how important time is. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we lose a lot of it, as he widely said. This emphasizes the importance of keeping in mind how we spend our time. By not being available all the time, you show that you value your time, which makes other people value it too. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, supported the principle of concentrating on what we can control, our actions and reactions. He told us to do things with our time that would make our lives better and more interesting. Regarding appreciating your time, this means doing things that are important to you and only spending your time with people who value and respect it. If you value your time, you won't always say yes to every request or offer. You should set your own goals and plan, and you should choose how to spend your time on purpose. It means making sure that your needs are met, while also considering the needs of others. This way, you won't always be last on your own list. To sum up, respecting your time and presence means knowing how valuable you are and letting your actions show it. Being present is important, but you should also make time for yourself and your own interests. With this method, people will want to be around you more, which will make you a priority in their lives. Rule 8. Start a conversation with balance. Rule 8 for making other people a priority in your life is all about finding the right balance when you start talking to them. This rule says that you shouldn't always start talks or make plans. Letting other people take the lead shows that you value your own time and hobbies, and it gives them a chance to show that they value and are interested in you too. A wise Stoic philosopher named Marcus Aurelius once said, "The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing." This quote is important to this discussion because it shows that relationships, like life itself, take work, flexibility, and not always being in charge. In talking to someone, this means stepping back and letting them speak first. It's about finding a balance so that both people in the relationship give something to it. This rule is also in line with what Seneca taught. He thought it was important to be independent and not depend on other people for your happiness. If you don't always make the first move, you show that your happiness and sense of self-worth aren't based on the other person. This way also lets them miss you and get in touch with you, which shows that they value having you in their lives. Epictetus talked about how important it is to be self-disciplined and able to control what we do. He said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak." To us, this means that it's important to listen and give space when communicating, rather than always speaking or doing something to fill the silence. Find a balance between talking and listening, starting a conversation and waiting for someone to do so. With this rule in mind, you should be aware of how often you reach out first. You can start talking to someone, but also give them a chance to do so. This doesn't mean keeping score or playing games. It means making the connection healthy so that both people feel like they have an equal stake in it. To sum up, balance when you start a conversation means giving others time and space to show that they are interested in and invested in you. It's a way to make sure that the connection is good for both people and that everyone is involved. You become a priority in each other's lives, and the relationship is more satisfying as a result of this balance. Rule 9. Keep your emotions in check. To become a priority in other people's lives, Rule 9 says to keep your personal connections in check. This rule encourages us to put good amounts of emotional energy into our interactions. If we want to have healthy relationships, we shouldn't let our emotions run our lives. Instead, we should control them in a way that helps us respect ourselves and each other. Philosopher Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic known for his wisdom, taught people how to control their emotions and think logically. "The best revenge is to be unlike the person who did you wrong," he said. In terms of emotional balance, this means not reacting to events emotionally or impulsively, but instead answering in a calm, thought-out way. Following this method helps you avoid getting too attached or mentally overloaded in relationships too quickly. Seneca, who was also a Stoic, said that controlling your emotions was very important. He said, "He suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary." This quote makes the point that we shouldn't let stress or emotional outbursts control how we act in relationships. This means letting them grow up normally and not putting too much mental weight on them too soon. Epictetus also talked about how important it is to control our responses. When it comes to emotional balance, he said, "What matters is not what happens to you, but how you react to it." This means that while we can't control how other people act in a relationship, we can control how much we let it affect us. It's not about being cool or distant. It's about keeping a healthy emotional space while you figure out how much you both care about and respect the relationship. To put this rule into practice, you should keep in mind how quickly and deeply you get mentally invested in someone. You should spend time getting to know the other person and let the friendship grow at a good rate. This method not only keeps you from getting hurt emotionally, but it also makes you more appealing because it shows that you care about yourself and the emotional quality of your interactions. To sum up, keeping your emotions in check means being smart about how you spend your emotional energy. It's about not getting attached too quickly and instead letting them grow on their own. Being balanced like this makes you a more stable and attractive partner, which increases the chances of someone making you a priority in their life. Rule 10. Be ready to leave. Having the guts to walk away from situations or relationships that don't respect or value you is the 10th and final rule in becoming a priority in other people's lives. This rule tells you to know your worth and not be afraid to leave a relationship that isn't good for you. It's a strong declaration of self-respect and a key step in making sure that other people see you as a priority. Marcus Aurelius, a famous and respected Stoic philosopher, said that having inner strength and self-respect were very important. He taught, "You have power over your mind, not over outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This quote fits perfectly with our rule because it says that the strength to leave a bad situation comes from inside. It's about realizing that while you can't always control how people treat you, you can always control how you react to it. Seneca also talked about how important it is to believe in yourself and not settle for less than you deserve. As the saying goes, as is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. This shows that the quality of your relationships is more significant than just having someone in your life to avoid being alone. Epictetus was another Stoic philosopher who believed in taking responsibility for one's actions and having the freedom to choose. He said, "Only the educated are free." Part of this freedom is being able to leave a setting that isn't respectful or good for you. In this sense, being informed means knowing how valuable you are and that you deserve relationships that are polite and healthy. In real life, being ready to walk away means having limits in your relationships and sticking to them. It means being able to tell when someone is being rude or one-sided and having the self-respect to leave instead of staying and putting up with less than you deserve. Although it is difficult, making this choice is a strong statement of your worth. In short, being ready to leave means knowing and claiming what you're worth. It means not being afraid to leave places where people don't treat you with the respect and care you deserve. It's important to follow this rule because it shows yourself and others that you are important and should be respected. This means you know you're worth more and won't settle for less. Remember this as we come to the end of our journey together. Your worth is determined by the strength and grace with which you support your beliefs and respect yourself, not by other people. You are a beautiful weaving of experience, ideas, and wisdom. Don't forget that. Take these 10 rules not only as guides, but also as proof of what a great person you are. People will learn how to value you more every time you do something to value yourself. Also, remember that even though today's episode ends, your journey of growth and self-discovery is still going on. I want you to learn more if what we talked about today was helpful to you. Thanks for being here with me today. Know that you are and always will be the main character in your own life story. Keep shining and growing. Watch out for the next video.